This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by GoDaddy.
Coming up on Destructoid, there's something about Hagar the Horrible in that new Street Fighter game, and that new Razor Switchblade looks mighty sharp. And, yeah, I'm gonna need those CES reports on my desk by noon, okay? All this and more coming up on Destructoid! Bleep, 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 bleep. Oh, that's the theme song, never mind.
Welcome, everybody, to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville. Tara, would you like to banter?
Yes, let's do that. Happy Friday.
Indeed. Happy Friday to you, too.
Yes, it's casual Friday, but not for you, I see.
Well, I can't do anything right. One thing I'd like to bring to the table, whatever this thing is that YouTube users have said there's not enough sexual tension. What you can't see is that Tara and I are playing footsie intensely right now. Mm-hmm. And she's also kissing me softly on the neck and whispering sweet nothings into my ear. Aren't you jealous? You can't see it, but it's happening, I swear.
It's happening right now. It's so hot. You can feel it. Felt it. Felt something.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is something that everyone should be excited about because it's Marvel superheroes and Capcom characters punching and kicking each other in the face. And if you're not interested in this, you should go watch sports because...
Because fuck you. That's why.
Sports. What's a sports?
Sports loser.
Anyway, the game is out on February 15th for the 360 and PS3, and Capcom still hasn't revealed the full fighter roster. Yesterday, though, they revealed two of the playable characters who everyone already guessed like 3 months ago. One of them is Phoenix, or Jean Grey from the X-Men, and I do not like her because she's overhyped and overused in the Marvel Universe, so let's not talk about her. The other is Mike Hagar from the Final Fight games and Saturday Night Slam Masters, which sounds like a really epic porno. You want to talk about porno, Tara?
I'm not going to say a word about porno.
All right, I'm not going to say a word about Jean Grey.
I have plenty of things to say, but I'm not going to say them.
Anyway, Mike Hagar, not to be confused with Hagar the Horrible, Sammy Hagar, or Hagrid, is kind of a cult favorite because he's the former professional wrestler mayor of Metro City, who fights crime by body slamming it. He's kind of like Jesse Ventura in a way. And he looks like a cross between Freddie Mercury and Magilla Gorilla. And if you still aren't interested in him, here's a picture of him giving a shark a pile driver. Are you excited now? Are you looking forward to that?
I'm looking forward to a Hagar the Horrible video game. That sounds amazing.
Oh man, it's going to be nothing compared to the Family Circus MMO that's coming out.
Oh god, that's awful. I'm going to make a point not to purchase that. That comment fucking sucks, both of them. Anyway, enough rage.
For a second piece of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 news, it's come to my attention that Destructoid's editor-in-chief, Nick Chester, has a preview copy of the game, and he's had it for weeks without inviting us over to play. So that's great, Nick. But he did post a bunch of cool stuff about it on the site, including about 20 minutes of in-game footage of him getting his ass handed to him, and his impressions on the game, as well as a bunch of screenshots of the 4 alternate costumes for each of the characters. These are really cool, except they're mostly just different color schemes. So if you're really interested in like seeing a turquoise Captain America, that's kind of like Captain Planet America. But you got it. I'm excited for you. But I was hoping for 80s Storm with a mohawk and punk rock gear, or maybe business formal She-Hulk for like office wrestling, or perhaps Deadpool the time he wore Phoenix's uniform.
Poor Max, you never get what you want.
I never do. Well, I just will go home with my dolls and play with them.
Just dress them up.
They're collectibles!
Sure they are, Max. Okay, let's give a rundown of some of the stuff that's been going on at CES so far. It just started yesterday, and already a bunch of exciting new stuff has been revealed, starting with the Razer Switchblade. It's basically an on-the-go PC gaming notebook, complete with a 7-inch touchscreen and 45 LCD keys that can actually be transformed from a keyboard into icons. So like if you're playing WoW, maybe, if you're in the middle of a raid and you have to take a shit, that makes it worth the price alone, right?
That sounds like one of your problems, Tara.
I guess you could bring your laptop in there with you just as easily, but a bathroom-specific gaming PC, think of how amazing that would be. That would sell.
Yeah.
That would sell.
I think the toilet desk chair would probably take off faster.
Oh, see, and I want to get a bedpan so bad. There's just something so appealing about it. I don't know.
Tara used to play WoW.
Next up, Netflix on Xbox 360 is getting Kinect support. I can't imagine why, considering the menu navigation on Kinect is one of the worst things about it, but may as well get your exercise in for the day. 5 hand movements per day is my exercise allotment. Also coming to the 360 this spring is Hulu Plus, which will also have terrible menu navigation capabilities, I assume.
That sounds like pretty good games, you know. The Kinect hasn't had a lot of great games so far, but that sounds like a lot of fun, you know.
That options menu.
Yeah, you know, you
many
want
choices.
to watch an episode of Californication, you end up like flailing your arms around for 15 minutes trying to do that.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And GlassesFree 3D TV. Sony debuted their new line of OLED and LCD TVs that apparently show a pretty clear 3D image without the need for those dorky glasses. This is, for me, one of the more exciting announcements, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'll ever be in a position in my life where I can afford something like a 3D TV, but maybe in the future, who knows. But aren't they exactly what you imagined the future would be like as a kid? It's like all of our nerdy childhood dreams are coming true.
Back to the Future too, kind of called it.
Exactly. And last but not least, Avatar Connect. It's basically a video chat room that uses Kinect's motion control to map your movements to really creepy avatars who sit around and awkwardly laugh a lot, according to the video that Microsoft showed. Max is doing a pretty good impression right now. There was a lot of that in there, random arm movements. Jose Pinero, the senior director of PR for Xbox, was quoted as saying, "Expect us to do more things like take advantage of avatars, voice commands, hand gestures. That's the future." He went on to say, "It could be that you interact with people through Kinect, or you can see your avatar watching a movie, or it could be that you watch sports events with your best friends across the country." Because apparently just watching sports events with your best friends across the country is not enough.
I think
you have to watch yourself do it.
It's going to get really competitive. There's going to be like leaderboards for who's the best at watching movies on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Like who's watched the most movies this year or something.
Yeah, I'm on like season 6 of The Sopranos right now. I'm like level 80. Like. That's amazing.
Ridiculous. As lame as it all sounds, though, it does give me hope that in the future, Kinect will be able to operate with such a degree of specificity that it can completely duplicate your body down to the tiniest features and then project that onto a 3D image, effectively creating a virtual clone of yourself. Think of all the hilarious ventures that you two could get into. It'd be like a hilarious sitcom. It's waiting to happen.
I would never stop playing with myself.
I know you wouldn't, Max.
But I mean, what do you do though if you kick your own ass? I mean, if the other one, I mean, like, and then what if you get in a fight and then like mom walks in and she's for some reason got a gun and it's just like you start both shouting like, "No, he's the real one, I'm the real one," and then.
If that happens, your Xbox just explodes, and then the world implodes. So it all works out. Let's take a moment to, I don't know what I'm saying now. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor. You like the internet, right? Well, that's why you need reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99.9% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. Plus, you can download GoDaddy's free iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry apps to order right from your phone, manage your current domains, and much, much more. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3, and use the code Dtoid1 to get 10% off any order when you check out. Not only is it a great deal, but you'll be supporting the show. And back to the news. We've got more details about the upcoming PlayStation phone. Everybody's kind of surprised that there was no big reveal for it at CES this year, yet. I think we're all kind of expecting to see at least something, but in typical marketing fashion, another one of these phones has mysteriously gotten into the hands of some random Chinese website. They get everything.
Those Chinese factory workers have sticky fingers.
They didn't specify that it was a factory worker. I actually originally wrote that in the script and then I had to take it out.
You hate the working class.
It was some Chinese website. It was like it168.com or something. It's not important.
I just want to upload a picture of my Game Boy Micro and be like, "Oh, it's a new PlayStation, it's a new Nintendo phone, it's great," and then,
nice.
You know, just lies.
Well, now we have some video to go along with these specs. It's got a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, a 4-inch LCD screen, 5 megapixel camera with flash, 512 megabytes of RAM, micro SD and micro USB capabilities, and it comes equipped with Sony's PlayStation Pocket software, which nobody really knows anything about yet. So there's that. You excited for that, Max?
I'm not as excited for that as I am for the dreaded YouTube comment of the week.
Yes!
YouTube comment of the week.
This week's winner, if that's what we're calling it, is user Soyamu, who wrote, "Your cup looks like a fleshlight."
They have a valid point.
Yeah, well, I made that mistake, and that might be why the cup's broken. That's possible. I am
It did have a flexible silicone rubber lid.
Yeah. Well, it might also be the reason that I'm washing celestial seasonings out of my fleshlight at home. I get these things mixed up, Tara. It's very complicated.
Oh my god, you think I use that brand? That's disgusting. I use Twinnings. Have you heard of Twinnings?
It's Twinings, you
Is it Twinings?
It's Twinings.
Oh, fuck my life.
Yeah, and don't you knock Sleepy Bear. That is some amazing
Sleepy
tea.
time tea. Love that shit. It's chamomile.
Oh, dear Lord. Anyway, because we don't want to leave out any Destructoid users, my personal pick for Destructoid's comment of the week was what Tyson the Tool wrote about last episode. If these outfits were alternate costumes in Resident Evil, they'd be Art School Tara and Street Rebel Max, which is, it's very nice that you noticed, but that's actually Hipster Scum Max and Teacher's Assistant Tara. Art School Tara and Street Rebel Max are actually both unlockable co-host costumes that you can get for the show. Aren't they
How
lovely?
did you get that picture? It was the 2000s, Max. Cut me
You
some
can
slack.
subscribe to Tara on DeviantArt if you're interested.
Whatever, I bet you really have one. Fuckery. And one last thing for those of you somehow still watching, even though it's like 8 p.m. on a Friday right now. We've got a new contest for you Twitter users, or maybe soon to be Twitter users? I don't know. Supervillain Studios, the developer of the new Tron Evolution game for the PSP, was nice enough to provide us with 5 copies of the game to give away, along with 2 Supervillain t-shirts with each game. All you have to do to enter is follow at SVS Games on Twitter and then tweet the following. Quote. Follow at SVS Games to win hashtag Tron Evolution for the PSP from the hashtag Destructoid Show! Exclamation point. Easy peasy, right? The contest ends January 14th and we'll contact the winners soon after via Twitter. And while you're online already, why don't you go show some love for our show and go rate us on iTunes, yeah?
Where it still says that Jonathan Holmes is the host. So go give Jonathan Holmes a rating of 1 to 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars.
And maybe say something nice about Tara's breasts or something.
Yeah, I love it when you guys do that. And before we head out to happy hour, check out this video of Carnage in the credits. It's pretty sexy.
I will be watching this with the lights off in my room.
Carnage gone wild. I'd pay for that.